It's a crisp Saturday morning in our sleepy Midwest suburb, the kind where golden leaves crunch underfoot and the air smells like possibility. I'm perched on the wooden porch of my freshly minted third wave coffee shop, Brew Haven, sipping an espresso that's got notes of citrus and mischief. My own roast, pulled from beans I sourced straight from a co op in Yurgachev. The sign above the door still gleams with that new business polish, and inside my baristas are buzzing like happy bees. Then, out of nowhere, she storms up the steps like a hurricane in orthopedic shoes. Linda Hargrove, queen bee of the corner bakery that's been slinging day-old scones since the Reagan administration. She's got that perm that's defying gravity and a scowl that could curdle milk. You! She bellows, jabbing a manicured finger, nails chipped from years of dough kneading, at my chest. Head swivel from the sidewalk. Joggers pause mid-stride. A mom with a stroller does a double take. You think you can just prance in here at, what are you, 12, and poach my regulars? This isn't some TikTok fad, little girl. Real business takes grit, not your daddy's credit card. You're too young to even know how to boil water without burning the house down. Her voice cracks like overbaked shortbread, echoing off the brick facades. I blink, steam rising from my cup like a peace offering gone wrong. Part of me wants to laugh, irony alert. My parents are public school teachers who once made me mow lawns for my first bike. But the rest, it's a gut punch wrapped in ageist absurdity. Linda, I say, keeping my tone cool as a cold brew. Welcome to the neighborhood. Can I pour you a flight to prove it? She huffs, spins on her heel, and marches off, muttering about kids these days ruining everything. The porch crowd disperses with awkward chuckles, but I swear I catch a few whispers. Did she just say, parents' money? Welcome to my unfiltered storytime, friends. Grab your mug, because I'm Emily Rivera, 22 years young, and this is the tale of how I built a dream from scratch, only to have it tested by the bitter brew of small town envy. If you're tuning in for the drama, the empowerment, or just a good roast, pun intended, hit that subscribe button now. We're diving deep into ageism, bias, and why sometimes the best comeback isn't a clapback. It's a pour over. But first, let's rewind to how Brewhaven even happened, because context is the crema on top. I wasn't born with a silver spoon or a trust fund. Hell, I was born with a French press in one hand and a dream in the other. Growing up in this same town, think tree-lined streets, Friday night lights, and HOAs that fine you for unmowed grass. I fell hard for coffee during my gap years, slinging lattes at a chain spot downtown. Not the syrupy garbage, but the real deal. Third wave, where it's about ethics, origin stories, and that perfect bloom in a V60 drip. I geeked out on podcasts about sustainable farming, apprenticed under a roast master in Chicago, and by 20, I was sketching blueprints on napkins. College, I squeezed in community classes on business basics while working doubles. Saved every tip, $47,000 in a shoebox under my bed, nabbed a microloan from a women's entrepreneur fund, shout out to those angels, and boom. 6 months ago, Brewhaven opened its doors. We're talking exposed brick, salvaged, eco-friendly, mismatched vintage chairs, and a menu that's 80% plant-based alt milks because inclusivity sells. No drive-through, no Wi-Fi overload, just a space to linger, connect, and savor. First month, we hit 150% projected sales. Locals raved on Yelp. Finally, a spot that gets it. Ethical beans, barista workshops for staff, even a tip jar for neighborhood food pantries. It felt like magic. Until Linda's Bakery, Hargrove's Hearth, stuck in a time warp with its Formica counters and buy one, get a stale one free vibe, started feeling the heat. See, her place has been the default for decades, powdered donuts, gossip over tea, the go-to for PTA meetings. But trends shift. People crave quality now, artisan over assembly line. My pour-overs, they're stealing her morning rush. And instead of innovating, hello, gluten-free options, she goes full scorched earth on the rumor mill. That porch showdown, it crystallized whispers I'd caught earlier. Flashback 2 weeks. I'm wiping down the espresso machine after close, the golden hour light slanting through our big front windows. Last customer of the day, this chatty retiree named Gladys, lingers with her oat milk cappuccino. Emily, honey, she says, eyes darting like she's spilling state secrets. Folks at Linda's are buzzing. Says you're too green to run a shop. Barely out of diapers, they joke. And that loan? Must be mommy and daddy footing the bill for their little princess's hobby. I pause, rag mid-swipe, forcing a grin. Inside, it's like swallowing grounds. Irony hits hard. Linda's got grandkids my age. Yet here she is, weaponizing youth like it's a felony. Jealousy disguised as concern. Classic. Gladys, I reply, sliding her a free biscotti, vegan natch. Age is just a number. Taste is timeless. She nods, but as she leaves, I hear the doubt lingering in the air like burnt toast. The impact? Subtle at first, but it creeps. That week foot traffic dips 15%. Not catastrophic, but enough to notice empty stools during what should have been peak. A couple regulars ghost, Yelp reviews sprout thorns. Cute, but feels like a pop-up that'll fizzle. I know the source. Linda's perched at her window like a hawk, her loyal patrons filtering back with fresh ammo. It's not just sales, it's the erosion of trust. Every too young jab chips at the foundation I poured with sweat and zero safety net. But here's the business me talking, data over drama. I crunched numbers that night in the back office. Our POS system shows patterns tied to her crowd's hours. Upside, it steals me. If she's playing dirty with ageism, I'll counter with authenticity. No lawsuits, no shade-throwing posts. If this hook's got you hooked, smash that subscribe for the full saga. Drop a comment below. What's your city, and have you ever faced that too young BS in your hustle? Chicago, Austin, small town nowhere like me. Let's build a community of grinders, literal and figurative. Cut to a week post-porch apocalypse. It's mid-morning rush at Brewhaven's counter. Think sun streaming through our salvaged barnwood shelves, the soft whir of our ethical roast grinder syncing with indie folk playlists. I'm in the zone, tamping grounds, pulling shots, that rhythmic dance that turns chaos into crema. First ping comes from a cluster of 3 locals, mid-40s moms in yoga pants, the PTA brigade who used to be my bread and butter. They're huddled over their matcha lattes, plant-based, zero waste. Voices low, but not low enough. Heard it's all smoke and mirrors. One murmurs, scrolling her phone. That girl's barely legal. Must be parents' money propping up this hipster hobby. Linda at the bakery says it'll crash by Christmas. The others nod like it's gospel, one adding, yeah, too young to know overhead costs from a hole in the ground. My stomach twists mid-steam, hot milk hissing like my inner monologue. But I play it pro. Slide their drinks over with a smile sharper than our house blend. On the house today, ladies. And hey, if you're curious about the hobby, stick around for our sustainability chat next week. Age is irrelevant when the product's this good. They blush, mumble thanks, and scatter like startled pigeons. Irony? Thick as fog. These women juggle kids and careers, yet they're parroting Linda's bias without a second thought. Me? I funded this with tips and tenacity. No silver platters, just shoebox savings and a loan I clawed for as a high-risk young woman. Boost to my confidence? Hell yes. It reminds me. My cafe's modern magic, traceable beans, zero plastic cups, barista rotations for work-life balance, is light years from her relic of a bakery where fresh means yesterday's batch and innovation's a dirty word. But the tempo spikes fast, no time to marinate in that win. Barely 20 minutes later, the door chimes again, and in sweeps a solo customer, grizzled vet type, baseball cap low, ordering a black drip like it's ammo. As I ring him up, he leans in, gravel voice casual. Nice setup, kid. But word on the street, at Hargrove's, is you're unlicensed or some such. Linda's got stories. Unlicensed, that's a new low, twisting her too young shtick into legal fiction. I chuckle, light, ironic, like her claims are decaf, and hand over his mug. Appreciate the heads up, sir, but check the wall. Health certs, business license, all framed and fabulous. Coffee's my license to thrill. He grins, tips extra, and exits with a nod. Boom, quick pivot. Customer retained. Inside, though, my business brain's firing. Track this. I jot notes on a napkin, gossip vectors tied to her peak hours. It's not personal, it's pattern. Traditional versus modern. Her bakery's a time capsule of comfort food and comfort zones, gossip the glue holding it together. Mine, a disruptor, quality over quantity, community over click. Her envy reeks of fear, watching my pour overs pull her crowd while she kneads the same old dough. Ageism's her shield, but it's cracking under my receipts. Tempo's accelerating now, friends. Hold your cups tight. Lunch lull hits, and I step out for a quick supplier call, phone to ear on the sun-dappled neighborhood street. It's that classic block, maple trees arching over sidewalks cracked like old habits, kids on scooters weaving past parked sedans. I'm mid-sentence, yes, double the Yurgachev next week, when I spot her. Linda, clipboard in hand, cornering a cluster of dog walkers outside her bakery's faded awning. She's in full evangelist mode, voice carrying like a siren. Mark my words, that new girl's a flash in the pan. 22, please. No experience, just entitlement. I bet her folks bankrolled it all. Probably why the prices are so pretentious. And the noise, those machines grinding away like a construction site. The group, two neighbors I recognize from my opening week, shifts uncomfortably, one murmuring agreement. My call forgotten, I pocket the phone and stride over, pulse quick but steady. Direct encounter time, no ambush, just facts with a side of sass. Linda, I call out, voice even, stopping a respectful 3 feet away. The group freezes, her eyes widen like I've crashed her sermon. Overheard the grind, literally. If it's the noise bugging folks, let's chat solutions. But the parents' money bit, cute fiction, but false. I bootstrap this. Barista shifts, microloans, zero handouts. As for experience, 4 years in the trenches, certifications out the wazoo. Care to sample a tasting flight? On me, no strings, just truth. She flushes beet red, clipboard clutch like a shield. This isn't about samples, Missy. It's about standards. You kids think apps and aesthetics run a business. Real ones sweat and scars. The irony? She's the one sweating, her scars, from monopoly that's crumbling under choice. The dog walkers exchange glances. One, a silver-haired prof I served last week, pipes up. Actually, Emily's brews are killer. Gave my lecture a boost? Linda sputters, well, HOA'll sort the racket, and storms inside. Victory lap in my head. Quick diffusing, ally gained. As the group disperses with awkward waves, two peeling off toward Brewhaven, my confidence surges. This isn't erosion, it's evolution. Her traditional trap, gossip is currency, can't touch my modern moat. Transparency, taste, turning tables. Street scene wraps in under 5 minutes, but the ripple, instant. By afternoon, those moms from earlier, back for refills, sheepish apologies in tow. Ignore the chatter, one says. Linda's just salty. I nod, pour generously, oat macchiato with a heart in the foam. Internal boost locked, every jab's jet fuel. Her bakery's a museum of missed opportunities, mine's a launch pad for what's next. But oh, the escalation's just brewing. Next up, those noise complaints hit the HOA like a bad espresso shot, turning whispers into warrants. Tempo's only ramping, folks. It starts with the mail slot clink. Mid-afternoon in Brewhaven's back room, my unofficial war room. Picture it, exposed pipes overhead like industrial veins, a corkboard plastered with supplier invoices and staff schedules, the faint scent of roasted hazelnut lingering from lunch prep. I'm elbow deep in inventory spreadsheets, projecting Q2 growth despite the gossip dip, when the envelope slides in like a subpoena from suburbia. HOA letterhead, formal as a tax audit. Formal complaint? Excessive noise disturbance from 124 Elm Street, Brewhaven. Multiple reports of constant rumble from coffee grinding equipment, disrupting residential tranquility. Complainant notes operation by young novice proprietor may contribute to improper soundproofing. Cease and desist within 7 days or face fines. I scan it twice. Coffee going cold in my hand. Rumble. Are grinders a whisper compared to the street's leaf blowers or her bakery's delivery trucks idling at 6 a.m.? And that young novice jab? Pure Linda, slipping ageism into legalese like it's a footnote, implying my youth equals incompetence. No name on the complainant, but come on. Who else patrols with a grudge and a grudge list? I snort laugh, pinning it to the board beside a Polaroid of our opening day crowd. Irony hits. This from the woman whose traditional business thrives on unchecked chatter, yet she weaponizes rules she probably helped write back when HOAs were just book clubs. Petty, Olympic level, but business mode engages, no panic. Document, delegate, defend. Tempo jumps, no brooding allowed. By evening close, I've rallied. Quick text to my barista lead, Jazz, 24, queer icon, zero tolerance for BS. Cover tomorrow AM HOA field trip. Next morning, I'm suited up, jeans, blazer, laptop bag slung like armor, and rolling up to the HOA office in my beat up Civic. It's a strip mall bunker, beige walls, fluorescent buzz, the kind of place that drains joy faster than a broken filter. I breeze past the receptionist's side eye. Appointment? Walk in defense, I quip, and into the manager's cube farm lair. Enter Carl, mid-50s everyman with a tie clip and a stack of violations taller than his ethics. Ms. Rivera, the noise file. He slides the complaint across, eyes sympathetic but scripted. I lean in, voice steady. Carl, let's dissect this. First, the rumble. Decibel logs from my install show it's under HOA limits by 15%. Here's the report. I flip open my laptop, charts popping like proof in a courtroom drama. He squints, nods. Fair. But the complainant, anonymous mind, flags it as persistent, amateurish, tied to a new operator's inexperience. Boom. Ageism exposed, raw and ridiculous. I arch a brow, irony laced light. Amateurish? We've got SCA certifications wall to wall. If new means innovative, like sound dampening panels we added post launch, sign me up. Sounds like sour grapes from a neighbor who's seen one too many sunsets without adapting. Carl chuckles despite himself. I press. Who's the source? Transparency's key in community governance, right? He hems, checks files. Hargrove, Linda, bakery owner, multiple priors on similar issues. Her own noise tickets, priceless. Tell her, I add, packing up. If it's youth she resents, maybe host a workshop. But fines, not on my pour over. He promises review in 48 hours. I exit with a wave, pulse thrumming. Win, partial, exposure, total. Her tactic's not strategy, it's sabotage dressed as civic duty. Traditional gatekeeping clashing with my modern merit. Backroom rebound hits like a turbo shot. Door barely clicks shut before I'm pacing. Phone buzzing with Jazz's update. Rush killed it. 2 walk-ins asked about the drama. Adrenaline fuels acceleration. No countersuit. Too slow, too bitter. But subtle countermeasures? Brainstorm blitz. I grab a legal pad, scribbling fast, bullet points flying, amplify compliance, post decibel certs front and center, turn defense into dialogue. Community olive branch. Free tastings for HOA board. Ironic twist on her pettiness. Data dive. Cross-reference sales, dips with complaint timelines, pattern for press if needed. Youth pivot, lean into the novice slur. What if I flipped it? A teen mentorship event? Coffee basics meets Biz 101. Seeds planted in under 10 minutes, ideas cascading like a multi-pour. Irony sustains me. Linda's betting on bureaucracy to bury me, but her traditional playbook, complain, isolate, ignores my agility. We're nimble. App updates for noise, FAQs already drafting, social post queued, myth busting Monday, grinders versus gossip. Confidence? Stratospheric. This isn't erosion, it's excavation, uncovering her bias for all to see. It kicks off in the parking lot behind the cafe, post HOA wind still fresh like yesterday's grind. It's a muggy afternoon, the blacktop shimmering under Midwest sun, my Civic parked amid staff bikes and a stray delivery van. I'm unloading crates, Colombian beans fresh from the roaster, when my phone buzzes like an angry hornet. Jazz, my trusty lead. Boss, heads up, rumors gone viral. Linda's at the farmer's market telling vendors we're operating without papers. Unlicensed, shady the works. Customers asking already. I pause, crate mid-lift, sweat beating. No license? That's her too young trope evolved, implying incompetence equals illegality. Quick pivot, I fire back. Doc check, all good, post social proof. But the lot's no sanctuary. As I haul inside, a neighbor's SUV rolls by. Slow, window cracked. Emily, heard you're flying under radar. No biz license. Linda's worried for the block. I wave, voice even. All squared. Check the wall next visit. They peel off, but the seed's sown. Back to back, door chimes, first wave hits. A duo of regulars, tech bros with laptops, order cortados, then drop. Yo, is it true? Bakery Buzz says no health permit. We love the vibe, but I slide drinks, pull up my phone, snap of framed certs, time stamped. See, fresh as our roasts, room as a decaf, weak and watered down. They laugh, tip big but inside. Tempo ticks up. Her spread systematic. Market mornings, her turf, seeding doubt like bad yeast. No breather. The lot lingers in my mind as I duck inside, but events accelerate. By dusk, parking lots emptying, shadows long like stretched doubts. I'm prepping close, wiping counters. The cafes glow warm against cooling air. When the door swings wide, inspector alert, clipboard guy in khakis, badge gleaming like judgment. Health department, routine check, tip on unlicensed ops. Surprise, understatement, heart races, but pro mode locks. Welcome, Emily Rivera, owner. Coffee while we walk? He declines, eyes scanning. Fridges, sinks, the works. Back to back scrutiny. Temps logged, spotless. Beans stored, airtight. Impressive setup, he mutters, flipping pages. I guide smooth. Here's the license, renewed last quarter. Health cert 2. He nods but probes. Heard complaints. Youthful operator, maybe shortcuts. There it is, Linda's bias leaking through the tip. Ironic, right? Her bakery's probably dodged inspections with crony charm, traditional networks shielding slop. Me. Scrutiny's my spotlight. Age's asset here, I counter light, ironic edge sharp. Fresh eyes mean fresh compliance. App audits, eco protocols, no shortcuts, just standards. He chuckles, checks boxes, all clear. False alarm, keep it up. Door shuts, exhale. Wind stacked, but the day's drain hits. Rumor to raid in hours. Tempo's relentless now. Inspection wraps, but reflection revs in the quiet cafe. Lights dimmed post-close. I perch on a stool, ironic musing brewing. Linda's no license ploy reeks of desperation. Her ageism a crutch for a business stuck in amber. Traditional thinking, gatekeep with gossip, bury threats in red tape. Modern me, adapt, document, dazzle. Bias exposed, inspectors youthful. Slip mirrors her playbook, dismissing drive as delinquency. But here's the boost. Events like this forge fortitude. Quick countermeasure, social blast tomorrow, myth bust, licensed and thriving, with cert picks. Stack on that teen workshop idea from the backroom brainstorm, turn sabotage into service. Her pettiness, fuel for my fire. Parking lot paranoia fades. Cafe's my castle. Post-inspection glow fades fast in the cafe kitchen. Our nerve center, a compact chaos of stainless steel counters scarred from 1,000 temps, shelves groaning under bags of single origins, the air thick with roasted promise, and faint vanilla from yesterday's syrups. It's late, floodlights harsh overhead, staff long gone. I'm alone with a notepad and a half-drunk Americano, the no-license dust still settling like ground in a filter. Retaliation temps file my own HOA counter on her fan's death rattle or blast her rumors on next door. Nah. Business 101. Poison begets poison. Positivity compounds. I pace, steam wand hissing idle, brainstorming aloud. What if, instead of fighting fire, I light a spark? Teens, raw energy, zero baggage. Teach 'em coffee basics. Grind, bloom, taste the terroir. Layer in biz tips, bootstrapping budgets, social media hacks, dodging doubt. It clicks. Workshop gold. Call it brew your future. Half hands on brewing, latte art, ethical sourcing. Half hustle, my shoebox to shop story, pitching without parents' pull. Targets her core jab. Prove youth isn't liability, it's launchpad. Irony? She'd scoff. Kids playing entrepreneur? Underestimating how her envy spotlights my edge. Traditional her clings to experience. Modern me builds legacies. Pen flies, outline in 10 minutes flat. Theme, empowerment over entitlement. Goal 15-20 high schoolers free to seed community roots deeper than her gossip vines. Tempo ticks up, no time for perfectionism. Logistics lock in starts here. Kitchen clock mocking at 9 p.m. Supplies borrow extra grinders from suppliers. Quick email, community collab. Snag pour over kits from storage. Venue? Cafe's too cramped. Pivot to the local community center. Neutral turf, her blind spot. I fire off a text to Maria, the coordinator, met her at a chamber mixer. Workshop pitch, teens plus coffee plus biz. Space next set, free promo for y'all. Reply pings in seconds. Love it, auditorium free, booked. Boom, date set, 1 week out. Budget, minimal, $200 from my contingency, donated beans, printed handouts. Marketing blitz, kitchen counter becomes command post. I snap pics of mock setups, a teen-sized apron draped over a Chemex, draft flyers, ages 14 to 18, from barista to boss. No experience needed, just curiosity. Irony nods in, Linda's inexperienced slur. This reclaims it, turning novices into pros under my wing. Outreach accelerates, kitchens too contained. I bolt for the community center, keys jangling like urgency bells. It's a quick 5-block jaunt, streetlights blurring past minivans and picket fences, tension coiling. What if turnout tanks? Her rumors could scare parents off. Unsafe, unlicensed vibes. But doubt. Decaf. Pull up to the center. Brick box glowing with after-hours yoga classes, bulletin board a war zone of faded flyers. Maria greets at the door. Warm hug, no-nonsense vibe. Emily, this'll crush. Post here. I nod, stapling stacks. Bold fonts screaming, unlock your grind. Next, digital dash. Instagram stories from the lot. Sneak peek, teen takeover brewing. Tag a future mogul. Email blast to my customer list, 500 strong. Bring the kids, first 20 get swag bags. School hook, swing by Elmwood High en route back. Parking lot dawn patrol, deans sipping said drip from vending machines. Corner the counselor in the hole, flyer in hand. Free skill share for your entrepreneurship club. Real world cred, zero cost. She bites, send invites, 20 spots, easy. Invites cascade. Text to Jazz's niece's squad. Facebook groups for local parents. Counter the too young noise, empower 'em young. By midday, RSVPs trickle. 8, 12, 17. Tension builds, excitement electric. But that whisper, will they show? Does Linda's shade stick? Ironic underestimation fuels me. She sees teens as threats to her real world. I see saviors, brewing change she'll never taste. Kitchen debrief seals it. Back by lunch rush, flyers fanned like victory cards. Logistics locked. Schedule, 9 a.m., welcome, 10 brew demo, noon biz panel, 1 wrap with certs. Waivers emailed, even a playlist queued, upbeat lo-fi for focus. Staff buy-in, jazz on art station, part-timer Leo, ex-teen himself, on sourcing talk. Tension simmers toward execution. 1 week feels like a cold plunge. Nerves on what ifs, thrill on the why. Her bias? The unwitting sponsor? This workshop's my mic drop to ageism, proving youth's not hurdle, but horizon. Traditional bakeries bake grudges, mine ferments futures. Doors fling open at 9 a.m. sharp. Cafe transformed. Tables shoved aside for brewing stations. 6 Chemex drips lined like soldiers. Grinders primed. Aprons in neon stacks. Sun blasts through windows, bouncing off our chalkboard menu. Today, empowerment espresso. First wave crashes. 18 teens. A kaleidoscope of braces, hoodies, and wide eyes. Half from Elmwood High, the rest Jazz's network pulls. Parents hover at the edges, skeptical sips in hand. I kick off center stage, mic clipped like a boss. Welcome, future disruptors. I'm Emily, 22, bootstrap this spot from Barista Bucks. Today, you grind, you brew, you boss. No too young here, just too bold to ignore. Laughter ripples, ice breaks. Quick pivot, divide into pods, coffee corner with me, biz booth with Leo. Tempo ignites, no lectures, all action. A lanky 16-year-old Mia grabs a burr first. Whoa, it's like a mini spaceship. And we're off. I demo the bloom. Watch. Hot water hits grounds. They wake up. Release CO2 like a sigh. That's your story. Pressure makes potential. She pours, gasps at the floral notes. Tastes like adventure. Engagement, electric, teens cluster, phones out, snapping sloppy lattes that foam over edges in glorious fails. Buzz accelerates, 10 a.m., station swap. Biz tips hit hard. I perch on a stool, circle tight, voice cutting through steam. Lesson 1, hustle over handouts. I save 47K mowing lawns, slinging shifts, no parents' piggy bank. Pitch like this. My cafe, ethical beans, zero waste, your community leveled up. Hands shoot up, back-to-back queries like espresso shots. What about loans as a teen? From Shy Kai, 15 app whiz. Start micro, crowdfund your lemonade stand 2.0. Ageism in interviews, pipes Riley, 17, non-binary firebrand. I lean in, ironic wink, flip it. Young means fresh ideas, no baggage. Like me dodging bakery bullies. They roar, connection sparks, doubts dissolve. Leo's sourcing segment, gold, these beans, from co-ops empowering women farmers. Biz tip, trace your supply, transparency sells. A girl, Sophia, 14, Bryce's gleaming, nails a pour over. This is better than TikTok hacks. Parents edge closer, nodding, initial wariness wilting under winds. Tempo's a torrent. 11:30, group challenge. Design your dream cafe on napkins. Sketches fly. Eco roast truck. Neurodiverse barista co-op. I roam, hyping. That's the disruption. Age irrelevant, impact infinite. Her underestimation? Obliterated. These kids aren't novices, they're visionaries. Brewing futures she'll envy from her stale shelf. Noon nears, climax peaks with rap. Certs handed, DIY, laminated glory, swag bags stuffed, mini grinders, my biz card zine, from skeptic to sipper. But wait, photo frenzy. We herd to the cafe's sunny nook, by the mural wall, hand-painted beans morphing into light bulbs. Group shot, pour it up, I yell, phone tripod set. Teens mob, Mia mid-temp, Kai frothing foam hearts, Sophia holding her winning sketch. Click, click, candid chaos, laughs frozen, aprons askew, that post-buzz glow. Solo snaps too, me with the crew, arm around Riley, squad goals. Share local stat. Instagram Live goes viral light. 200 views in minutes. Stories tagged Frisgo Brew. Your future. Flyers digitized for next door. Teens owning the grind. Join the wave. Caption hits home. Youth power. Bias busted. Immediate feedback. Avalanche. Parents swarm post shot. Emily, this was gold. My kids lit up. One dad, ex-Linda regular. Forget the rumors. You're the real deal. Teens linger, hugs exchange. Can we volunteer? Texts ping en masse. RSVPs for round 2 already at 5. Buzz builds blinding. By 1 p.m., cafe refills locals buzzing. Saw the post, signed my niece up. Sales spike 30% that hour. Irony thick. Her sabotage seeded this surge. Tempo's a whirlwind rap. Event ends at 2, but echoes roar. Emails from schools. Partner. A chamber rep DM feature, hint of bigger, that photo from the local rag snapped by a parent lingers, card in hand. Great story, young entrepreneur versus the old guard. Press pickup tease, tension taut but triumphant. Linda's too young. Toast, youth's the yeast rising us all. 2 days post-workshop, cafes humming like never before, sold out pour-overs, that post-event glow turning tables into think tanks. I'm tucked in my favorite corner booth, the one with the scuffed oak that saw my first napkin sketches, sunlight slanting golden across the headlines. Local rag, Elmwood Echo, splays open, front page spread, glossy photo from our session, me amid bloom, me grinning beside a squad of beaming teens, caption screaming, Brewhaven's boss, 22-year-old entrepreneur empowers next gen amid small biz feud. I scan, pulse quickening like a first pull. Writer nails it. Emily Rivera's third wave haven isn't just slinging lattes, it's launching legacies. Facing whispers of too young and parents' cash from a veteran bakery rival, Rivera flipped the script with Brew Your Future, a free teen workshop blending barista basics and biz bootcamp. Attendees raved she showed us age's ammo, not anchor. Amid HOA noise gripes and inspection jabs traced to anonymous tips, Rivera's resilience shines. 200% sales surge, community collabs blooming. Quote stack wins, Sophia on dodging doubt like a pro, a parent calling it antidote to envy. Then the zinger, subtle shade on the source. While some cling to experience as exclusion, Rivera's model proves youth, plus hustle, dash on harmony. Linda, unnamed but unmistakable, her Karen energy crystallized, zestful complaints, aegis arrows, all unraveling in print. I lean back, espresso in hand, notes of berry and vindication, laughing soft. Press pickup? Priceless. Immediate ripple, door chimes nonstop, reporters circling, locals toasting to the underdog. Sales? Through the roof, but bigger. Inquiries flood for franchises, school tie ins. Her bias, backlash bait, next door threads torch her tactics. Time to innovate, Linda, not nitpick. Tempo eases, but not without one final sting. Street glimpse seals the sip. Mid afternoon, I step out for air, porch creaking under victory weight. There she is, Linda, across the block, sweeping her stoop with vigor that screams defeat. Bakery windows dimmer, a help wanted sign flapping like a white flag, her crowd. Migrating my way, lured by quality over quarrel. She spots me, broom pausing mid-swipe, eyes narrowing to slits. No yell this time, just a curt nod, lips pursed like oversteeped tea. I wave casual, voice carrying light. Great article, huh? Workshop saved a day, youth's got grit. She mutters something about flashy fads, retreats inside, door slamming like punctuation. Irony? Chef's kiss? Her too young crusade cast me as hero. Hers the envious elder clutching crumbs. Traditional bakery? Stagnant, spite-fueled. Mine, thriving testament. Bias busted, not by beef, but by building up. That glimpse? Closure without claws. She's exposed, Karen, crown crooked, while I stride back in, teens thanks echoing in texts. And that's the brew, fam. The full pour from porch punch to press parade. Moral straight, no chaser, ageism and bias. They're the burnt edges we scrape off. Don't let 'em dull your drip. I could have countersued, shaded back, but empowerment's the real roast. Lift the next gen, and the grudges grind themselves down. At 22, I learned youth isn't a flaw. It's fermentation, turning trials into triumphs. You facing too young or not enough. Flip it. Document your drive, build your squad, brew bigger. We're all baristas of our hustle. Pour generously. Taste the terroir of tenacity. This story, ours now, proof that modern merit outlasts outdated malice. Drop a like if you cheered the comeback, fuels the next round. What's your take? Ever turn shade into shine? Comment below, share with a skeptic, and let's keep the community brewing. Stay bold, stay brewing. Until next story time.